We will begin in 1 minute. Well, hello, all you googly people out there in Region 12. My name is Josh Essery. I'm on the digital innovation team here at the Service Center in Waco, Texas. And today is our February Google Update meeting. Glad you're here. Glad you're watching later. Either one. If you're watching live, please feel free to chatty chat. Let me know. I'm just going to be completely transparent. I have switched over to YouTube Live. It gives me a little bit more production value, but I don't have as much interaction. So we do have the chat. If something's weird, take note. Let me know later. We'll all experience this together. We'll collaborate through the magic of YouTube. So please let me know what you think. Interact through the chat. And I will try my best to see it. But there's lots of moving parts. I'll definitely share out all the moving parts later because it is crazy. So first off, if you have not gone to our... where did I put it? Oh, right there. If you have not gone to our website, please go to esc12.net/Google, and that will take you to our webpage with all of our information, links, reminders, recordings, all that jazz. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Again, if you need that one more time, it's esc12.net/Google. Kind of easy to remember. But let's go ahead and jump over to see what that website looks like now. So it should take you right here. There's some tabs at the top, but you should always be at that Google Educator. So right below that, you can join our group. Please feel free to take this website, that link, and share it to anybody that you know is googly. I want the googly people. I want the people that think they might be googly people. It doesn't have to be the experts. It doesn't have to be the newbies. It has to be all of us, because that is one of the great things about being googly, as the definition is circulated at Google headquarters, is that it is for everyone and no one is condescending to anyone. We share everything and we take joy in everything that we learn together. So please feel free to share this link and have people join our group. The current agenda, if you want to see what we're going over today, or if you have to hop out or you're watching this later, just click on that and that should take you to our February update agenda, which we will hop down in just a second. The YouTube Live link, that will take you here. Also, it will take you to the recording after you're done. Some of the previous recordings are down here, and all of the previous agendas are down there as well. Oh, Syntax Educator Summit. That's old. But we're going to have another one of those. That'll be fun too. All right. So again, that is esc12.net/Google. I do want to jump in and take a look at our group. So if you do click join, there will be a little button up here that says at the top, request for joining. If you've never been a part of this group before, it does give you access to collaborate with everybody that's in this group. We have people from Region 12, we have people kind of around the state spotted here and there, and we've got 98 members. So we need 2 more to break through that 100. So if anybody's watching, just either join if you haven't, or ask somebody to join, and let's break the ceiling. Let's get over 100. But it's really cool because you can go through here and search our conversations, look through all the stuff that we've shared out in the past, because there's tons of information, but maybe you're searching for one particular thing, and that will get you all of that information. Let's go ahead and jump over to that agenda. And we will go ahead and see, there's the links right there at the top. And here's all the things we're going to be going over, links, updates, all that good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and hit the important links first. We do have a Facebook page for our digital innovation group, which we're going to talk a little bit about more later. If you want people to follow your social media groups, drop them in that spreadsheet right there. We're looking for people to follow and help each other grow our social media. So if you have school or digital accounts that you want people to follow or get more exposure, please click on that spreadsheet. I think it's still active. I haven't checked it in a while. Nobody's used it yet, but hey, come on, let's make it a thing. I think it should be a thing. And then there's our group updates. Again, if you ever want to ask the entire group what we're doing, or if you want to ask the entire group, hey, I have this problem with the Google admin panel, or I have this one teacher that's in Docs and it's doing this weird thing, all you have to do is just email. Once you're part of the group, just email googleeducators@esc12.net. Once you do that, then it's going to go out to everybody. If you just want to email me, you can do that. My email's in this thing too. But that's the whole cool thing about the collaborative, is that it's a big old hive mind, and somebody's got to know an answer. We have a lot of Google admin talk, but if you could ask like your secretary to join if she just wants to know more about Google. But there's a lot of, because at the admin panel, if you've ever been in there before, is a big, crazy, hairy mess, and so a lot of questions arrive about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about some events and things coming up. All right, so we just finished up a webinar. This doesn't have to do with Google, but it's on everybody's mind. We're going to hit on it later. Is good old AI, machine learning, algorithms. There's lots of words for it, but AI is the one that we're currently talking about. And our awesome digital innovation team here at the Service Center did a 45-minute webinar on artificial intelligence in the classroom / education. If you'd like to watch that video, it is bookmarked. You can kind of clip through different parts if you don't want to watch the whole thing, but that'll take you to that video if you'd like to watch that. Our I moved. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There we go. Our Innovative Teaching and Learning Conference. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this. Oh, I don't know if that's going to work. But our Innovative Teaching and Learning Conference is coming up. That is going to be on July 17th. If you are familiar with our Transform Ed conference, we have rebranded it and we've kind of just made it a little different. There are going to be places for our digital learning instructors, our instructional coaches. We have spots for leadership, principals, assistant principals, teachers, parapros. There's going to be a lot of strands and focus for a lot of different people, but it is mainly about teaching and learning and using innovative strategies for all of that. If you're curious about that, go ahead and click on our information page. That will take you to our ITL page. And the main things that we're going to focus on are these 4 elements of learning. Everything that happens at this conference is going to be focused on purposeful engagement, motivation, innovative instructional strategies, relevant learning experiences, meaningful technology implementation. And if you're interested in attending, you can save your seat here. You can also register or propose to present at this conference. I don't want to spend too long on that, but there will be some Google in it. That's the only reason I bring it up. We also have some Google boot camps coming up. We got a level 1, we got a level 2. They're adjusted just a little bit this year because there's so much stuff coming out. There's new stuff we got to learn. I'm also pushing out 3 online courses for Google Classroom. I got Google Classroom level 1, Google Classroom level 2, and a level 3. You can think of it as beginner, intermediate, and expert. They're all going to be online and self-paced, but there will be live touch points where you will be able to interact with me, ask me questions, and get live tutorials during that entire process. Each one is about 6 hours, so there's lots of material in each one. We've also got some stuff about creativity and AI. and technology tools coming up. If you click on that, that will take you to our interactive document website for everything in here. So if you're interested in any of those are all linked. If you have a problem with the link or it's not live yet, just email us or whatever, and we'll make sure you're on the list for when those do go live if one of them's not. But again, that is right there. Looking forward to all of that Google Learning in there. So if you're interested, please sign up, email me. I'm really excited about all the Google Learning experiences in there. All right, so now for the meat and the taters, y'all, is what's new in Google Workspace for Education. All right, so let's go ahead and start. So down up here at the top, just, oh, I deleted it. I didn't put the explanation of how these things work, but most of y'all know. Just read. Each one of these things goes to a blog site. You will just need to go ahead and check the blog. That'll tell you who's it available for and when the rollout date is. You'll notice here on the side of all these updates, I did put plans because unfortunately Google is not making everything free anymore. I don't have any control over that. I wish I did, y'all, but I don't. So down there at the end, I'll say, who is this for? Is it just for admins? Is it for people that, is it for every Google user? Is it just for the people that pay for the Education Plus or the Teaching and Learning upgrade? I'll put all that information in that last column, but it is also on each page. So let's just look at one of these for example, increasing efficiency through room management. So you'll see down, so this kind of shows you all the information that each one of these has. I'm just saying words right now to fill space. Who's it for? Admin. And then the rollout pace. When will I see it? Because just because it's listed on here doesn't mean it's live yet. It's giving you a warning because a lot of you I know that are part of this group do need to know those things in advance to tell everybody, oh, you know what? Your Gmail interface is about to change, or this is about to change. You know, get ahead of it before it gets crazy. But then availability is where you'll find who's it available for. So this one isn't available to personal Google accounts, not available to Essentials, nonprofits, but it is available to all of these. So if you don't know which one you're on, ask your Google admin. If you're a Google admin and you don't know, email me and I'll put you in contact with our admin person that can tell you how to look that up. But I don't have that power, so I can't look that up on my side. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on. I'm not going to go over all of these, but you'll see the order of the date they were released. Oh, and I forgot this one was, I did want to talk about this one. All the ones that are in bold, we're going to try to talk about. But again, this is only going to be an hour, so I got a lot of stuff that I want to share out at the end. So I'm going to try to kind of blast through these. But I'm only going to talk about the bold ones. You're welcome to look at the other ones on your own. So this actually came out in December, but it just started rolling out to more people. Is that there is a Chrome power save and memory saver feature that you'll start seeing up in your browser. It only comes up when it needs it. I haven't found a way to actually enable it manually, but it comes up for me pretty frequently. Usually when a tab's been open for a really long time or there's a tab that's using a lot of memory, you'll see one of those symbols up here in the top right of your screen, and that will give you the ability to either save memory or save power. You'll like put it in a suspended state, or it'll throttle the memory if it's using a lot. So be looking for those up there. They do have to be enabled on the admin side for teachers if you are at a school. There's the blog article on that if you are interested. For all of those Meet people out there, this is a pretty cool feature. This is something that Zoom should probably get on pretty fast as well. And y'all, I don't know about you, but Meet's starting to look pretty good. It's got a lot of features that Zoom does not have. Hold on, give me one second. Okay, so this is pretty cool. So what you do is while you're presenting in Google Meet, let's say you're presenting in Google Meet and you're presenting your Google Slides presentation at the same time. So while you're doing that, you now have the feature in Meet to directly share that presentation with those people. You also, oh, I linked to the wrong one. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, this is a different one. This is viewing your speaker notes. The other one is also a thing. I just got ahead of myself. You can now see your speaker notes while you're presenting, and and the people that are watching do not see it. So if you're a big Meet person, you can now present with your meeting notes showing up in your Meet, and they can't see it. So that's a really, really nice function that has been added in there. There is a new beta feature coming out that is going to allow you to move folders from your drive to shared drives. Like you can just move the whole thing into a shared drive instead of copying and pasting. It's a whole migration thing. If you're interested about getting on that beta and getting that into your school and your admin, go ahead and check that out. Just click on that link and I'll show you who can apply. But that's a big thing because I know a lot of schools are trying to get everything locked down to who can access and make that a little bit easier for everybody. If you have not used the Google appointment calendars, yeah, you got to check it out first. So I currently have one of these up with this general Q&A. So anytime somebody clicks on this link, if I share this link with them, they are able to see my calendar and their calendar links up at the same time. And all they have to do is go, oh, I want to meet with Josh at this time. You click on that, you fill out the information, why you're meeting for this appointment, and it automatically books a meeting on your calendar and my calendar. It's like Calendly, except it's built in, if you're familiar with Calendly, but except it's built into Google. And I mean, when it's all in the same spot, it just makes things so much easier. I think we all know that. But check that out. But I bring this up also because you can now check availability across multiple calendars, which is very, very cool, especially if you have a team that needs to be at that meeting, or you're on a team and you need to make sure that it doesn't conflict with the rest of the people in yours. It's not available to everyone yet, but you'll be able to see this picture right here. This is a screenshot of when you're looking at that availability on the calendar. You can say, hey, when you make my availability calendar, don't just show my calendar. Show my calendar, Andy's calendar, and Carrie's calendar. And then, so it will actually sync it with, so if Willie, I don't know if Willie's still here, but it looks like he might be. I see a text from him. So like if Willie is making an appointment calendar and he's making, okay, the meet with Willie time, he's gonna put that up on his Google Calendar. And he's like, but I also need to make sure it checks James' calendar and his AP's calendar so it doesn't conflict with any of those. He can add those calendars into that one so it doesn't conflict with any of them. They're making it better. They rolled it out pretty light, and I'm feeling Willie's comment right there, the thank you, because that's one. The other thing they need to add is that somebody else can make an appointment calendar on your behalf, like department assistants, secretaries. Those things can make it for a superintendent or make it for a principal. But I think this might be kind of a way to get around that. Okay, moving along. Okay, so this could be a big thing for some people, and it could be a nothing burger for a lot of people. But if you use Google Calendar for reminders, and if you use Google Assistant for reminders, they are all moving to Google Tasks. You can find tasks in your Gmail, you can find it in Docs, but it's all moving to that platform. It's also an app you can get for your Android phone and I believe iPhone as well. The information about it switching over is here. If you're familiar, like what is Tasks? Do I use Tasks? It shows you how to access all of those and how you make tasks in each one of those. I'm going to jump over to my Gmail and I'm going to try not to scare anyone. Let me just go ahead and make sure that my calendar doesn't look too scary. You know, it says I have like 3,000 unread or something like that. Not that that would ever happen, y'all. Ever. Okay, so let's jump back over. So over here, whenever you're in Gmail, if you look over here on the right side, this is a little logo right here. This little guy right here. I don't know if that thingy zooms in right or not, but this little circle with the blue check mark in it, that opens up your Google Tasks. So as you make tasks across the Google platform, in that link that I showed you, yeah, right here, if you make it in Gmail or Calendar or Chat or Drive, all these places, they will also show up there in your task list on the right side. So it's just all coming into one place. But if you're like a big reminder person on Calendar, they're all switching over there. Like I said, that is not going to affect me, but I have you know, some people just really get in the groove of doing the same thing all the time, and, you know, your cheese is moved. So just be aware. Smart chips are getting smarter, y'all. If y'all are unfamiliar with the smart chips, those are here in Google Docs and Google Sheets, where you can do the @ sign, and you can add dates and drop downs, and you can add meeting note block templates. You can add file links. I have a video on that I'll put in here also, but they're getting a lot of new updates. So there's 2 links here that show you some stuff. They're not going to roll out for about another month, but some of them are very, very cool. You can now make your own templates. So I know Willie's done this before. He's made his own like product management sheet for his students doing video production. He can now make one how he wants it to look every time with the same drop downs, the same emojis or whatever. And you can highlight the whole thing and you can say, make a custom building block. So then it will be in your building block menu. Every time you open Docs, it will be there. So you can make your own custom ones. I don't know if they're going to make them shareable across an enterprise system yet, but thank goodness that is here. They're also going to be, I don't know if you've ever used the email templates before, but they are now going to start having calendar templates. I'm just going to go ahead and show you this one because this one is like one of my favorites. If you do an email draft on this, it gives you an email draft. You can go ahead and compose your email, put pictures in, whatever you want, and then you just click this button and it puts it in Gmail, and all you have to do is hit send. It just pushes everything over. I have another video on this one. I'll put that in the document as well if I have not. But you can see they're also going to be doing a calendar template. So this way you can make a calendar invite and you can share this Google Doc, because it's Google Doc. You can share it with everybody on your team so everybody can get a good look at that invite before you send it to an entire school or district or whoever, entire customer base, students, whatever you're doing. You can have like multiple people look at that invite now as a template before then. And then when you're done, you'll see there's a little calendar icon. I'm going to zoom in. So that little calendar icon, once you're done, you click that and it pushes it straight to your calendar, pushes everything in, and then you just click save and it's ready to go. So that one, there's going to be variables where you can put blanks in. You can have emoji voting now. And this one, I'm looking, this is interesting. Actually, I'm just going to skip a bunch. Y'all can read through these. Where is the last one? It must be in the Google blog one. Let's look at the second one. Yes, this one. There's going to be a timer. You could just put a timer in a Google Doc. So if you're like collaborating, it's like, hey, let's work on this for 5 minutes. You can just go, boom, do 5 minutes. Or as you can see right there, if you have it on the student's document, you can put a timer in there. It says practice reading for 5 minutes. You've got a 5-minute widget essentially in there. They just click it and it starts a 5-minute timer for them. I mean, how sweet is that? How sweet is that to have a timer there? But I don't know. Sorry, I'm singing. That's inappropriate. All right. There's also inline Google Classroom email notifications. If you're a big Classroom user and you have notifications turned on through email, every time you get one, you have to click it and it opens up a new tab. You see the conversation, you reply to it, then you have to go back to your email. They have now enabled, if you're using Gmail, you have now enabled inline commenting in your mail. So you get that notification, just type in that notification box and hit reply, and boom, go to the next email. You never have to jump out to a new tab. You don't have to create a billion tabs for every one that you're replying to. You can actually do all of the replying for stuff directly in Gmail. Never even have to jump over to Classroom. Come on, y'all. That's awesome. I think it's pretty cool. Okay. Let's see, just going through. All right. So check out those other ones. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. I'm just not going over all of them because we ain't got time for that. I'm almost at the half hour and I have lots of stuff I want to share with y'all. Okay, so next up is our live demo section. So we're going to talk about just kind of experiencing stuff with Google and just designing stuff with Google. I really hope the music is coming through for those, and I hope the little splash bumpers are coming up because I worked really hard on them. It's been a long time coming. All right. So the first thing is definitely the hot topic of the week, and that is artificial intelligence, which we kind of mentioned earlier in our update. But I want to talk about more how that applies to Google, how it applies to the classroom, or just applies to anybody using Google. So the first thing is just general awareness of AI. Let me go ahead and get rid of these. I have a little tab problem up here. There we go. So this is a really cool, this awareness site. All I did was I went to the keyword, which is Google's main blog, the name of their main blog. Got it. And I just typed in AI. And all of this stuff is really, really cool. Of like every time they talk about AI, first off, there's 831 matches. And then I want you to see that they have been talking about AI. Let's go by oldest date. They've been talking about AI in Google since 2012. It's been 11 years, and Google has been working on AI in their platform to make it easier to use, make it more responsive to use. We're just really talking about it now because of ChatGPT and its availability to directly interface with it. Google's implementation has just been improvement of quality of usage. It has been integrated into all the things we do. So if you're curious more about relevance with this, I would actually, if you click on that link that I gave you, I would go by newest date and you'll be able to see all the stuff they're talking about. So they have a podcast about AI. The Magic Eraser that's in Google Photos where you can erase things, that's all done with AI because it has to use that AI and machine learning to figure out what might be behind those things when I erase them. AI in your Google Pixel. And we'll talk about some of these, but just know that it's been around and Google has been using it. And so I think it's been scaring a lot of people because they're like, oh, artificial intelligence is scary. It's just a new form of it at this point, and we've been using it for a really long time. And I think it's just really interesting to kind of go through this and see what there is. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to highlight some of those things that are in that search result. And the first one is Google's AI in arts and culture. Actually, that should be Google's art and culture with AI. There we go. Don't you love editing things on the fly? I know you do. Okay. So Google Arts and Culture, if you haven't been to Arts and Culture or you get really lost, it's one of my favorite Google platforms. I share about it all the time. This is the best place to start. If you go to Google Arts and Culture, it just kind of like overwhelms you. Okay. But this is Google Arts and Culture Learn with Google Arts and Culture page. And I feel like this is a better place to start. Everything's a little bit organized, a little bit easier, makes more sense to me. So it starts you with a guide, top tips. You can pick specific subjects depending on what you teach. It has lesson plans, like just find something, get started, use it. Virtual field trips, museums, culture with your camera. This art zoom is really cool. It's really high resolution art that you can go in and you can look at the texture, look at the colors. But there's lots of really cool stuff on this page. But we mainly wanted to talk about arts and culture. So one of the things that they do have in here is 9 ways that AI can interact with culture. So these are some really cool examples. I'm going to show you one. If you have not, I don't know if this is going to come through because the way I have everything set up. But anyways, we'll see what we can do. I'll just turn the volume up really loud. We'll come through the microphone. But one of the most popular ones that you may not know is AI is the Blob Opera. Carrie or Willie or anybody listening, have you done the Blob Opera before? I want to call it the Blopera sometimes. I feel like that should be one word. But it uses machine learning to analyze pitches and vowels to determine what other pitches and vowels sound good together based on previous music that has been fed. Because essentially that's what's happening with ChatGPT is what we're seeing. You ask it a question and then it scrapes the internet to form an answer out of the things that it has found on the internet. So this is the same thing, except it's music. It's scraping all the known music that it's been given, and it will reproduce pleasing, but at least consonant and harmonious tones next to it that sounds like an opera. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to see if I can skip through this guy. Okay. Skip tutorial. There we go. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and somebody, Carrie or anybody, I'm going to turn this guy on and tell me if he's coming through. I don't think he is. I don't think he's coming through. I'm pretty sure he's not. Okay. We're going to come through the speakers, and I'm going to turn the microphone so y'all can hear Senor Blobby. Okay. What about now? Okay. So now you'll be able to see, as I move them up and down, and as I use more and more of them, they harmonize with each other depending on the information that they have. You can also take them left and right, and they will also change the vowels as well. So I'm just going to spend about like 5 or 10 seconds showing you this one. All right, so that's the Blopera. It's a really cool musical AI experience, and they have some previous ones that you can go look at. You'll see down here at the bottom, like Ring in the New Year, and they also have this globe. You can go to different parts of the world, and then they all have different songs that are already pre-programmed in. But really cool example of the way that AI is working. That's not just a chatbot. Some other AI experience, Beethoven Beats is really cool. We're not going to go through all these. I'll just leave these open. But this one's pretty neat. You can, I'll just keep this unplugged. All you need to do is you just tap out a rhythm. You tap out any rhythm you want to on your space bar. And it will go through I don't know how many, I don't think it went through all of Beethoven's works, but it'll go through the majority of Beethoven's works and find the one that matches your rhythm the best. So here we go. Let me turn this microphone around so y'all can get the sound. Let's do another one. And you'll see in there that it's taking random parts. It's not even like the major themes of the sonatas. It's taking, and that's what it is. It scraped all the sonatas, just the Beethoven sonatas, not all his work, just the piano sonatas. You can even see that you can explore the sonata down there, and it'll show you the whole thing and like what part of that was it actually playing for me. You can see that it's analyzed it, and that's what it's searching every time you tap out a rhythm. Okay, moving on. Guess the line. Where is Hopper? This one's interesting. This one's just fun because it's kind of a geography game, but every picture that it shows you is an AI generated picture of a place. So that's kind of interesting. It's again, these are all experiments. You'll notice that the address on these, a lot of these, let's see, where is it? Where is Hopper? Oh, no, they're all listed. Okay. Paint with Music. I also enjoy, and the assisted melody, we'll do that one, and then we'll move on. But the Blob Opera, if you want to see that one again. But the assisted melody, I really, really, really like as well. We'll go ahead and launch this experiment. Now, this one's cool because you can put down whatever notes you want to on the staff. You don't have to know anything about music. But again, it's going to use machine learning and AI to analyze the notes and compare whatever pattern of notes you put in there, and it's going to compose it, or it's going to analyze it to what it thinks might be music, and then it'll translate it to what might have sounded like if Bach wrote that, or what it sounded like if Mozart wrote that, or what it sounded like if Beethoven wrote that. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to click on the score or on the keyboard and add your notes to the melody. So we're just going to go. Okay, and then we're going to say harmonize. I'm going to get really close to the microphone because I'm having it by the speaker. But so, you know, it's interesting. Sounds kind of weird. Let's just switch over one. Let's do Beethoven and see what Beethoven sounds like. And you can also sometimes change the instrument, but we'll skip that for now. Give you some little information. So before, that was organ. So this one's piano. And there's some tools down here so you can change the instrument and the tempo as well. And you can try out Mozart and Bach and Beethoven. Y'all, that's super cool. I think that's like one of the coolest examples of AI is using it in music and what other composers would have sounded like with random notes that you just punched in. Yeah. All right. So other things that they have announced, Google is coming out with their own AI chatbot called Bard. We don't know a release date on that yet. But if you'd like to see more information on that, this is a playlist of videos from CNET that shows you all the stuff that Google has been doing and is planning to do with AI, how it looks in maps, how it looks in search, and all that fun stuff. Okay, I now want to show you a really cool feature. I don't know if anybody saw this on Twitter last week, but let's take a step back first. So ChatGPT is an open source platform, which means people can take that ChatGPT 3, Series 3, which the 4 series is about to come out, and they can use it in their own AI models. So all these AI generative platforms are starting to pop up, and they're starting to pop up on education platforms. Conquer AI is one that is an AI for generating quizzes in Google Forms. So we're going to create a topic idea. So we're going to do let's do a read and respond. We're going to ask it to create a read and respond. We're going to create for grade 8, and we will make it about photosynthesis. I think that's correct spelling. We'll see. And then we're going to say generate. And it's going to generate usually 5 questions. So let's take a minute and sit right back and we'll see. You'll see as it generates, it also puts in the correct answer. It also gives you a place to validate the answer. So, you know, you still have to be responsible, y'all. Still got to be responsible and validate those searches. But it will give me 5 of these. And, oh, it did 4. Maybe I stopped it too soon. But anyways, it gave us 4. I'm happy with that. That was 4 I didn't have, and I didn't have to write any of that. I can just check it and make sure it's good. All right, so now I'm ready to go. And you may have noticed up here in the top right, it says assign or export. You ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Oh, you can't see it because my face is in the way. Hold on. There we go. Assign or export. So we're going to click that. And we can go to, oh, you still can't see it. Sorry, my face is just in the way. You can assign it to a Google form, a PDF, or a link. Let's do a Google form because that seems the most magical. Clickety click, generating quiz in Google Forms. I need like music. Boop, 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 boop. Open quiz in Google Form. You ready? And there it is. It's ready to send off to Google Classroom and be graded. How cool is that? That's pretty awesome. The only thing, oh, yep, and the answer key is in there too. I didn't check that last time. It's awesome. Okay, so that's Conquer. There's different things you can do with it. Obviously, it does save all of your stuff too. So if you go over to Activity, you can see all the stuff that I've already made with those. You can create a topic idea. You can create reading material. And then you see you do have read and respond, fill in the blank, different grades. I'm sure these could get more complex the more you need for it. The more of a need you have for it. I don't know if there's any limitations or paying yet or all that good or bad stuff. But anyways, Conquer AI. Check it out. All right, and ChatGPT extensions. So last week, Carrie Espin, one of the members of our digital innovation team, she shared with us a ChatGPT extension that she had found, and it worked really well. It was really cool. And I think just because it's been so popular, there's now a ton of them. So if you go to the Chrome Web Store and you search ChatGPT, there's for Google, there's Liner, there's Merlin, there's Tactic. I can't remember which one that Carrie shared, but there is a ton in here. And I'll just take a look at this Liner one. It's got the highest reviews and the most reviews. We won't worry about the sound. I just want you all to see some screenshots. So like when you do a Google search, once you have the extension in, you do the Google search, and over on the right side, it's pulling the text from ChatGPT on the side. The cool thing is Liner does give you references, so you can say, where did I get this information from? Click on it, and it'll take you to one of those and give you suggestion tips for the next search. But again, there's all of them. I haven't used all of them, so I can't really suggest any of them. You know, your mileage may vary with extensions. We kind of all have to accept that fact. So do your research, double check with your admin or your Google admin, all that cool stuff, and check it out. Let me know what you explore, and let me know what you find. Okay, how we doing on the time, y'all? Okay, cool. All right, last one is Looker Studio. This is formerly known as Google Data Studio. I wanted to share this one because I am trying to get into this world, and y'all, it's amazing, but my brain does not wrap around data as well as I wish it did. It just doesn't. But Looker Studio is a free Google platform that allows you to take data from tons of resources. For our perception, our context, it'll mostly just be, Google Sheets. You can pull from Google Sheets, but you can pull from all kinds of stuff. I was actually talking to someone, one of our local school districts, and I said, well, wouldn't that be really nice if the data on this was live and you could pull it directly from this source? And he said, well, you actually can just go to ChatGPT and ask it to write a Google API script to pull the information and put it in Looker Studio. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, that makes things so much easier. I haven't done that yet. That's just a little too much. But let's go ahead and take a look at Looker Studio so you can kind of get an idea of what they look like. So we're going to do just one of the examples right now that I have. We'll go to, or these are actually just reports that they've already made, but let's look at, all right, let's look at this Search Console report. So on the back end, it's pulling data from sheets and CSVs and databases, and it's putting this information out like a dashboard like you'd have with any of your other data reporting sites. I can't remember some of the name of the sites that schools use around here. I want to say like Insight, OnSite, something like that. Anyways, And you can make these pull from whatever you want them to, and you can make them look however you want to. And there's even filters up here. So if we just want to look at the United States, it'll give us just that information. It'll change all the graphs depending on whatever filters that we put in, and all the information changes. You can even highlight information, like if we just want to see the desktop information, we can click on desktop, or we can click on impressions. And all this stuff is easily filterable. The really cool thing is that up here, that is a public URL or a shareable URL. You can make it private. So if you need to make dashboards for your teachers, or you need to make dashboards for principals or school boards that you don't have, that is not made by one of the third-party vendors that you have, and you just need to make your own to show technology adoption or technology usage or strategy adoption or walk through data, any of that information that you just need to get a better look at, you can share this out, and each person that sees it will be able to use the filters on their own, and it won't affect anybody else of how they're looking at it. It's all customized for the user. So I'm going to give you a quick look on the back end of what that looks like. And I'm thinking about starting like a Looker Studio group, because they're running into more and more people. That seems like be something that they want to use. But it's pretty niche. So we're going to go ahead and do an untitled report. And so here's all the stuff that you can pull from. Like, these are all the data stuff that you can pull from. That's, I can't even, yeah, I can't. So anyways, we're just going to do Google Sheets. We're going to click this one, and I've got this 8th grade graduation example data that we're going to use. I'm just going to click on that, and I'm going to say add. All right, it always starts you off with this very confusing chart. I usually just delete it because it's not what I want. So we'll call this, what's come up here. Works a lot like a Google document, 8th grade graduation. Okay. And then we want to add some stuff to make it look a little bit nicer. So a lot of text stuff that you can do to make it look pretty. Okay, so let's just add like a little header up here, and then we'll just we'll color that in a little bit. Let's make that a pretty. Let's do like a purple. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll title it so it looks nice whenever we send it out to people. 8th grade graduation data, and then we have our text properties just like you would in any other platform. So let's go ahead and just make that nice and big, stretch that out. Okay, that's good enough for me. And then we need to add some data in. Now, I'm going to be very simple on this because I still haven't figured it out, but I can show you how this kind of works. So let's go ahead and we're going to add a chart. We click on add a chart, and let's add a pie chart. Decide where we want the pie chart. Okay. And you can see right here, the dimension that it's giving us is the percentage of recommended for graduation. So you can see that out of all of the students that you have, 5.3 not recommended and 94.7 are recommended. Let's get another one in here. Let's add another pie chart. Okay. And now you'll see it's pulling from the Q1 2017 average. Let's go ahead and go to the cumulative GPA. Let's do that one instead. So all you have to do, because it's pulling all the data from the sheet over here, I'm just going to take that cumulative data one, or GPA. I'm just going to drag it and plop it on top of there, and it's going to go ahead and change that for me. I actually don't like that one either. Let's do final average. Let's do that one. There we go. And we can see the average, the percentages of all those averages. Okay. Now let's do one more, and let's do absences. I don't know if this is going to work visually, but let's just do it so we can kind of just see one more thing. So let's do a column chart, or a, whatever they call it, a bar graph. Oh, goodness. Okay. There we go. All right. That's what I needed right there. Okay. Let's go ahead and do our total absences, our cumulative, no, final average. I had to go back. I messed that up, y'all. Sorry. All right. Let's get that out of the way. Let's go ahead and add our bar chart. Boom. Right there. And we want to do, let's do absences. So total absences. Okay. Okay, and you can even label these a little bit more. So if I wanted to go in here, I go to that style. I need the I need all the stuff labeled. So let's show the axis title. So you'll see over there it's record count, and then we'll show axis title for X. So it's total absences in 2018. So 8 people. So we had 19 people that had 8 absences. So the cool thing you can now do with this is that you can click on this. Okay, 8 absences. Let's go to 16 absences and click on that. And it will filter the rest of the data. So you'll see all the kids, all 9 kids that had 16 absences still are recommended for graduation. You can also see the grade readout of each one of those. If we go over to 0, we can see that if there were no absences for those 19 kids, you can see that there actually was 1 kid that was not recommended for graduation. So you can start comparing the data just by clicking on each filter to get that information. And one last thing before we get off of this is you can also add controls. So I'm going to come up here to this control, and I'm going to do let's do a slider. And we're actually going to apply it to this one right here. So we're going to add a slider control, and we're going to stick it right here. And it's total absences. So say that I only want to look at total absences of 15 or higher, 15 or higher, release that. It's only going to show me those, and then it's going to affect the things up here as well. You can see that there's different kinds of controls. There's drop-down list if you want to filter by drop-down. You saw that a little bit earlier. You can add search boxes, check boxes, date controls. It gets really hairy really, really fast. And I just showed you everything I know how to do. Okay, that's it, y'all. But if I go up here and click on view, that's what it looks like if I send it out to someone. I can share it, and that they actually have control over all of this information as well. They can click on any of these, and it doesn't affect the original data, or if there's 100 other people looking at it, it doesn't change it for them in live. This is one off for each person. So really, really cool. I would like to, like I said, I'd like to get a collaborative started with people that are using this. Maybe a Google chat space, maybe a space. That might be kind of, maybe I'll think about that. I just had that idea. So, all right, that is it, y'all. That is it. I am so glad that I think that this thing worked. This setup with the changing and the switching and the information and the linking. I have to figure out the sound thing other than flipping my microphone over. But I don't think that was awful. So, well, anyways, y'all, I hope you had a good time. I hope you got some good information. I would love to get some feedback. If you have any information, please email me, put it in the chat group, put it in the what is it called? I'm drawing a blank. The Google group, that thing. You can put it in there. And just go connect with us at esc12.net/Google. All right. Thanks, y'all. Have a wonderful afternoon.